Well, hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. I am super pumped for this versus video that we have for us today. We got 1095 quarter-inch, 5-inch blades that we're going to be testing out today. The ESEE 5 versus the BK2. Both super iconic, super classic, super hard-use, tough, durable blades made here in the US of A. And we're going to see today which one is really worth a purchase for you, pros and cons of each, and really just kind of compare the two and see which one is going to be a better purchase for you, the Becker BK2 or the ESEE 5. So let's go ahead, jump out there, begin to compare these blades and see which one is going to be a better purchase for you. Alright, so the blades on the ESEE 5 and the BK2, they're both made out of 1095 high carbon steel. The ESEE has a great heat treatment as well as the K-bar. The ESEE Rockwell hardness is just 57 even. And then the BK2 is going to have a Rockwell hardness of 56 to 58, so a little bit, bigger margins there of Rockwell hardness. They both come with saber grinds. In other words, the grind starts right here and starts going down to the edge of the knife. And you're going to get that on both the ESEE 5 and the BK2. So they're very similar in all those aspects. And then, of course, they are a quarter-inch thick, both of them, making them just a tank of a knife. They both weigh in at 16 ounces. So those are a lot of the same things, full tang, all that sort of stuff. The thing that I want to talk about here with the blades before we go on, because they both have exactly 5-inch blades and all those different specs I just gave you, is that the ESEE is going to have a lot less of a drop on its blade geometry, making it a great tactical blade. There's hardly any drop. It just comes a really big sweep up, and it is going to be really good at skinning as well. But also for tactical use, it just has a little bit better tip for that. Whereas with the BK2, it has a lot more of a drop and has a more blunt tip, which makes it really strong. You can really dig into wood, and pry open wood and stuff like that. But isn't quite as good on the blade geometry of the tip for tactical use. And you can just see there, they're both great and thick tips, but that ESEE just has a more precise tip there for particularly tactical use. So the blades are almost exactly the same, and they're going to hold the edge, guys, for exactly the same. I've hard used both of these knives for over a year, used them on plenty of trips, lots of times, and I don't see any difference with either resharpening or edge retention. They both hold their edge about the same. They both take about as long to resharpen. They're both about as sharp, and you can definitely do carving and whittling like you just saw with the blades and the steel, the 1095 on the BK2 and the ESEE 5. Alright, so the first video we saw was the BK2 chopping, and then we saw the ESEE 5. And this is the thing, they both chop exactly the same, and how they bite in and dig in is great, and at 16 ounces or a pound, you're definitely got some just weight crashing into that wood. So they're great little choppers. The difference is really in the handle construction back here at the back. This one has a glass breaker pommel, because this was originally, the ESEE 5 was originally designed to help helicopter pilots down in Central and South America that may be crash landed, so that they could break out of their cockpit and then survive and possibly have to go hand to hand, with drug cartels or, guerrillas, and then get back to safety or wait until they get rescued. So this one has a glass breaker pommel back here. This one just has a nice big flat one, for hammering in nails or something like that, pounding in stuff. The difference is that the BK2 has this really nice big hook back here that when you're holding it and you're chopping, you are totally locked in, and the blade has nowhere to go and it can't slide out of your hand. Whereas with the ESEE 5, I don't know if you saw that, but after about 3 swings I had to reset my hand and chop again. Because this is really slim and just flat back here, my hand kept wanting to, when I would hold that, my hand kept wanting to slide out as you're chopping with your SE5. So that was my only complaint between the two. They both chop the same, but you're going to have to reset a lot less with your BK2 just because of the handle construction with that hook back here. Just makes it a better chopper. That's what I'm going to have to say. You know, the weight is there. They chop the same, but the BK2, because of this nice big hook back there that all the Becker models have, make them amazing choppers. And the BK2, I'm going to have to say, is just a little bit better because you don't have to reset your hand when it comes to chopping wood out in a wilderness situation than the SE5.
All right, let's take a look at the two different sheaths that you get with the SE5 versus the BK2. On the SE5, you get a really nice Kydex sheath, really good quality, you know, not made out of glass reinforced nylon or something like that. You got paracord lashing points throughout the whole thing, a nice drainage hole. Then on the back, you have an attachment with this paddle, so it's kind of a drop leg with this really nice steel clip there that can either go through MOLLE or on your belt, and it hits just really nice and snug on your belt. And then you just take the knife, click it into place here, real nice and secure. Just a little bit of a rattle, and then it comes with this really nice little feature. This retention screw really helps out a lot, because what you can do is when it's down in this type of format, you just put your thumb right there on that thumb ramp, pull, boom, the knife comes out really nice and securely. And then if you want to lock it into place, that's what you do. You pull this all the way up to the top, nice and snug, and then the knife can't come out. I'm pushing as hard as I can. It is locked into place, so no matter what I do, you can see there's almost no rattle now. You know, carrying it upside down, whatever, it's locked into place. So this is a great quality Kydex sheath that you get with the SE5. Then if we look at the BK2, what they used to come with was a glass reinforced nylon sheath that was really junk. It looked a lot like the SE that we just saw, but that glass reinforced nylon, the glass in the kind of, you know, molded plastic sheath, dulled the blade every time you took it out. So those are still available, but they have upgraded as well, and you can get this really nice nylon Kedora sheath that is, I think, a lot better option for your BK2. I believe the designation is the BK2 or 22 if you either want to purchase this straight with the nylon sheath or get the nylon sheath as an aftermarket for about $18 if you already have the older BK2 with the glass reinforced nylon sheath, which is junk. But what you get here is just really good Kedora nylon. You know, you get your little dump pocket here in the front, you know, lashing for your leg. On the back, you get a nice stretch of MOLLE that you can MOLLE into your gear, and then a really nice little flap right here with a button and Velcro, so you can put it on to your belt without having to take your belt off, which is a nice little feature that they give you right there. And I like the Velcro and the nylon. That's always the Velcro and the button. That's always a plus to have. Then you got your Kydex insert right there. And then you got your really thick 2 lashing points plus the rivets for jump ready compatibility, because this is the same sheath that comes with the BK10, which is definitely more of a tactical, you know, operator's knife. So there you go. It's locked into place, really nice, secure. Definitely a lot of rattle, and overall a lot better option than what you would get with the old BK2s. And if you're a MOLLE nut, you might actually like this even a little bit more than your SE5, because this is super easy to MOLLE to. But overall, just a better, you know, sheath than what they used to give you with the older BK2s. So now let's just kind of look at the comparisons of these two sheaths. All right, well, when you look at the two sheaths side by side with the SE5 and the BK2, honestly, it's not much of a contest. Hands down, the Kydex sheath on the SE5 is just a lot better quality sheath that will last a lot longer. You know, you don't have to worry about nylon straps, you know, wearing out over time, or the buttons wearing out. You know, just clicks in, clicks out, lasts you a lifetime with really no maintenance, worry. You know, it doesn't give you the pocket on the front, which maybe some of you are really, you know, into, you know, that the BK2 nylon sheath would have. But you can get little MOLLE pouches that attach to the front of the Kydex if you're a really big, you know, nut when it comes to little survival kits on your knife, and you like that knife to have everything included in it. But yeah, I'm just going to be honest, the Kydex sheath on the SE5 wins hands down when you're comparing these two knives. Alright, well, we got two knives here, and we got to determine what is good for what, which one's going to be a better purchase for you. That's why we're doing this video. So let's go ahead and start with the SE5. So this is what I would say, is that the SE5 is overall, just out of the box, a better quality item. You get the micarta, you get the great sheath, there's no upgrading involved. You buy the item, boom, you're done. You don't have to think about it anymore. And I would say that it is great for tactical. If you're looking for either, a military knife, you're in the military of some sort, or you're looking for a good, like bug out bag, car knife, something like that, and you want, kind of a knife that you can just purchase, don't even have to really think about it again, and it's going to be super reliable, be there for you, that you can, do urban use with the knife, you can use it for woods use, and defend your life if you need to. I would say that the SE5 wins hands down. It's just going to be a better tactical kind of, survival knife, definitely where you're thinking about you're going to have to possibly use this to defend your life. Out of the two knives, the SE5 definitely wins. And then just for overall, you just don't like, having to, look around and trying to build a knife. You just want one knife, you buy it, you're done. SE5 wins hands down. All right, where the SE5 may really excel at tactical use, I'm going to have to say that the BK2 is a better bush knife. If you're going to be using the 90% of your time this knife in wilderness situations, you're going on camping trips, hunting trips, bush crafting, those type of things, I'm going to have to say the BK2 is just a better option. Mostly because of the hook design back here that they give you. It's just going to be a lot better for chopping. Your hand is always going to stay, just locked in. You never really have to reset, and just the ergonomics are a little bit better in the handle. For my large size hands, or large size gloves, it just doesn't fatigue my hand. It takes longer to fatigue my hand with the BK2 than if I'm rocking the ESEE for the day out in the woods. The ESEE is fine for the tactical because you're not going to be doing a lot of chopping in tactical situations, but woods use, I'm going to go with the BK2, and it just has a little bit stronger tip. It's a little bit wider, obviously not very good for stabbing and life, protecting your life and defending your life, but great for prying open wood, trying to get to the meat of something, prying off bark, that type of stuff. It's just going to be a little bit stronger. And just the pommel back here, where the SE5 has the glass breaker, this has a flatter, for tent pegs, those type of things. And I just like kind of upgrading, knives. I like playing with them, working on them. And your BK2 is going to be about half the price of your SE5. It's going to have the same strength, same edge retention. It's basically the exact same blade in its quality, in the sense of how strong and the good steel and all that other stuff with its 1095 Crovan. But you can easily get micarta handle scales for about $45, and then you can also upgrade. There's tons of aftermarket sheaths on the market, either leather or kydex, that you can get for a BK2. So for right around the same price that you would spend on an SE5, you can upgrade your BK2 and get it running exactly how you want it, be kind of unique, and just be, in my opinion, just a better bush wilderness blade. The BK2 wins out in that respect over the SE5. Okay, everybody, so you've heard my opinion, and again, guys, this is just my opinion on these two knives. Tactical, bug out bag, ESEE all the way, or if you just don't want to think about what you're doing when it comes to kind of building a knife, and you're not really going to be using it for chopping, hey, the SE5 is going to be great and will save your life. The BK2 wilderness use absolutely wins hands down, and I just like it a little bit more for that aspect. For this particular type of and style of knife, I'm going to go with the BK2 for wilderness use, outdoor use, and that's what you're going to be using your blade for. BK2 wins. So it just depends on what you're doing, how you want to use your knife. So I hope this versus video and review of these two knives has really helped you guys out. Please subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.